It should be clear to all Americans that we have a very serious left-wing terror threat in our country. Radicals associated with the domestic terror group Antifa and other far-left extremists have been carrying out a campaign of violence against ICE agents and other officials charged with enforcing federal law.
So that's Mr. Trump today. Now let's talk to Montana Senator, the great Steve Daines. Senator Daines, welcome back, sir. Always, as always. You know, shame on the Democrats. They never disavow Antifa. They never disavow, how about this? They never disavow the Democratic Socialists of America, who seem to be running the party at the moment. Certainly that's true in New York. And they never seem to disavow the violence that Mr. Trump and Pam Bondi has been talking about in that White House meeting today. I just say shame on Democrats.
Well, Larry, it's exposing where the center of gravity is today with the Democrat Party. They have moved so far to the left. They're wrong. They're profoundly wrong on virtually every major policy debate we have in this country, starting with keeping our country secure. I think the president designates Antifa, rightfully so, as a domestic terror organization. You've got the Democrats not only propping him up, supporting him, and not being willing to stand with law enforcement and ICE and the President of the United States, who's sending in National Guard now to try to restore law and order into our cities. The Democrats are on the wrong side of these very important issues. As a father of 4, grandfather now of 7, Larry, I fear for the safety of this country and our children if the Democrats ever had control of this country.
You know, Senator Daines, on that point, it's a very important, there's like an insurrection going on. You go city by city, LA, Seattle, Portland, then you move east, you get to Chicago, you get to Memphis, you get to Newark, New Jersey, you get to New York City. You got a mayor, you got a guy running for mayor in New York City who's not a Democrat. He's a Democrat socialist. That's a different party. And he wants ICE out of the city so there may be more violence in New York. He wants to get rid of the cops and defund the police. I'm just saying, you got insurrectionism everywhere. And the federal government has to do something about it. I mean, isn't public safety the first order of business, the first law of business?
It is for those of us who believe in limited government, as I do. One of the primary responsibilities of the federal government is to secure the station, to keep us safe. And Larry, I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing this flood of American citizens leaving states like California, Oregon, and Washington on the West Coast, coming to states like Montana, Idaho, Utah. Of course, on the East Coast, they're leaving New York and headed to Florida. Thank God for Republican governors. It's not just the quality of life these citizens are leaving for, it's the quality of leadership and safety and security and common sense and, frankly, sanity in leadership.
At what point, Senator Daines, even in these blue states, okay, I got it, but at what point do the voters rebel in the blue states against the insurrectionists, against the absence of law and order and public safety? It's got to come. There's got to be a backlash. You know that.
No, I think it is coming. I was listening while I was standing by here for this interview to your polling data there in New York. Mm-hmm. When they find out who's supporting Mondami, it flips that gubernatorial race. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an example of where this all will be headed. If the Democrats continue down this path, frankly, of anarchy, the American people will reject that no matter what their political stripes are. They don't want to see what the left side of the Democrat Party is selling. And I tell you what, that's where the center of gravity is moving towards, as evidenced by this shutdown in Washington, the Schumer shutdown. It is absolutely manufactured and pressured by the far left part of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, Dems, shame on them. They're cooking their own goose, but that's life. Senator Steve Daines of Montana, thank you, sir. It's great to see you, as always.